Hi guys, welcome back. So New Zealand 39, Argentina 0. Big win for New Zealand, possibly not even at their clinical best with their best team, but still miles too good for Argentina. This game was part of a double header with South Africa, Australia to follow. That will be in the next video. And to be fair to Argentina, they competed hard, and in the first 5 minutes, they had a pretty good first five. They got into the All Blacks 22, but the All Blacks stepped it up and turned it over. And from then on, they had a big period of pressure for New Zealand. And in this game, particularly in the second half, there were just huge periods of possession for New Zealand. But then on 9 minutes, it's pretty ominous really, as New Zealand starts surging up the length of the pitch with ball in hand. They're very happy to run the ball against Argentina. Beauden Barrett causing all sorts of problems taking the ball to the line. He offloads, it gets slapped down, but Rieko Ioane is quickest to the ball, touches down, 7-0 to New Zealand, and they really don't look back from now on. And it does look like New Zealand can turn up the heat almost at will. Twice Argentinians in dangerous attack in the 22, but then it gets turned around in a flash and New Zealand are back down the other end, which is very similar to what we saw in the games against Australia. 13 minutes, a big maul. Beauden Barrett goes for a massive long cross-field kick, a bit too long, but Geordie Barrett, his brother, almost gets there with an athletic touchdown, but the ball just touches the dead ball line at the end, so no try there. And really one area of an issue for New Zealand, everything else was looking pretty good, was the line out early on. Amoa, hasn't been picked as first choice for a while, and possibly the line out is one of those reasons, so maybe not the best start for him. 15 minutes, more searing pace from Rieko Ioane. Goodness me, he's quick. Really stepped up his claim for that 13 jersey. Him and Leonard Brown are certainly going to be fighting that out. But he forces the pass, but then they get the ball back and the pack rumbles up and over the line, but it's held up. And the ref just about remembers that it should be a goal line dropout than a 5-metre scrum. That was quite funny. Anyway, just at this point I put a note that Argentinians have been under pressure for 15 constant minutes, but New Zealand's clinical execution just deserting them a bit, because against Australia they were very, very good in that regard. Argentinians get a shot at goal on 23 minutes with Sanchez, 50-odd metres, but it's a bit too much. The ball falls short. Then on 25 minutes, New Zealand 2 minutes of constant running pressure. There is a big turnover from Argentina, but they give the ball straight back. And you're thinking surely New Zealand are going to convert, but no, a second penalty for ruck mistakes from New Zealand. So they'll be a little bit frustrated at this point. And like I said, they're happy to run at Argentina. They think they're going to get change out of them. They are, but they just can't convert. Anyway, on 32 minutes, a fairly fortuitous penalty for New Zealand off a decent Argentina turnover, but to be fair, TJ Perenara, who was super sharp and fired up all matches, quickest to the ball, and New Zealand actually take the points at this point in the game, half an hour in, with so much pressure, they want something more to tell for it, so 10-0 up. And making a note at this point, New Zealand looks so good in attack because of their variations for me. When Beauden Barrett takes it to the line, obviously he's a running threat. They always have a decent inside ball, often from a wide angle. They've got a couple of guys outside, out the back as well, or if it goes straight to the pod, it's the same system. And the chip and the grubber are always on as well. So incredibly dangerous and hard to defend. And they switch sides very easily as well. So just that variation plus the skills they have make them so dangerous, but not converting enough yet until 36 minutes. Big New Zealand maul, penalty advantage, and Sevu Reece squirms under the big Argentinian forwards. He's very good at squirming around, getting over the line like that. They needed it for the amount of possession they had, so it's 15-0. Beauden Barrett, a nasty hooked conversion, which is something he can do, and indeed Geordie Barrett does take over the kicking, so that's the one negative mark for Beauden Barrett, is his goal kicking, but that's something we've kind of known about for a while. On 40 minutes, right on the half-time hooter, then, it really hurts Argentina as they concede another try. It's a slow, steady build-up, a yellow in the build-up for Matera of Argentina as well. Then they maul over for the try, Papali'i, killer blow, plus that yellow card, 22-0. Pretty painful end to the half. So the second half starts, Argentina need to start big, and to be fair, they've got 7 men in that pack and they win 2 scrum penalties in a row, which is very impressive. Plus the Argentinian forwards sandwich the referee, he gets in the wrong place. I thought that was quite funny as well. They look like they're just in a good position, but not for the first time. Off a penalty, TJ Perenara taps quickly and goes the length. The All Blacks go the length. Rieko Ioane, Beauden Barrett, searing pace, setting up Jacobson for a try again from a good position for Argentina. Again, just such painful execution for Argentina. They get in a good position and then the All Blacks just absolutely pounce and kill them, 29-0. This game, New Zealand are trying out new players, and indeed when McKenzie comes on after that, he slots into 10, so taking advantage of the slightly weaker opposition. So a really good workout for New Zealand in that respect. And, that was the killer blow, really. The game's breaking up. I mean, Argentina are trying, but they know it's a lost cause. Akira Ioane bursts clear, but the ball goes loose from an offload. And the All Blacks are opening the taps. They're trying things they weren't before. They're really pushing it, and why not? Bridge goes over the line, doesn't quite ground it. That's a no try as well. Then Sevu Reece linking up again with TJ Perenara. Double inside ball off a couple of rucks. It looks like he might squeeze over again, but no, he knocks it on. So, again, lots of points left out there for New Zealand. Not that they needed them in this game. 63 minutes, they continue to open the taps. It's looking really nice now. McKenzie, I'm making a note here, is just as dangerous as Beauden Barrett or indeed Mwanga, playing the ball flat and plus his running threat. So that's just 3 fantastic options at 10. And the accumulation of sustained pressure looks like an inevitable try for Blackadder, but it's ruled out for a double movement. But then another yellow card for Argentina again, a couple of 5-metre scrums, and eventually Jacobson, who had a very solid game, smashes over, 36-0. And indeed, that's kind of how it stays until a penalty edges it out to 39-0. And, it's just all over. New Zealand miles too good, if not completely clinical. Argentina kept to 0, just outclassed. Will they manage to get a win in this Rugby Championship? Potentially they're going to have to target Australia for that. And it wasn't even New Zealand's strongest team. So great outing for New Zealand. Let me know what you thought of that game, who stood out for you, and I'll catch you next time.